Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Chris, and welcome to the Sky's the Limit Limitless event. Here at Sky's the Limit, our heart is to connect entrepreneurs to mentors, business development, and funding opportunities. And today, we get to hear an amazing conversation from a really cool entrepreneur right here on our platform. But before we get started, I want you to check out this video to see all about Sky's the Limit.
Sky's the Limit is the best asset that has come up in the past year. Since 2021, they have been able to support Raise the Bar investments in capital for our business, allowing us to launch our first book, Holistic Money Mindset, Mental Preparation for Abundance. More importantly, they've provided social capital as well. The network within Sky's the Limit is immaculate. From the fellow entrepreneurs I'm able to connect with all the way to the amazing mentors from amazing organizations across the world. My advice to anyone on the fence about joining Sky's the Limit, just do it. My first 2 weeks on the platform, I was very determined to expose myself to the network and met with over 20 mentors. Now, pretty much everyone on my personal and professional mentor list comes from Sky's the Limit. With that being said, you never know until you try, so go ahead and bet on yourself and your business and get on Sky's the Limit.
That was amazing. Man, I love each event we get to do and every story we get to hear. I'm excited to hear yours next. But for now, get ready for this month's Limitless conversation.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Limitless. We are so excited for today's episode. Today, we have an amazing entrepreneur that is going to inspire you to be limitless in all that you do. So without further ado, let me introduce our guest. Our guest is founder of MillennialBae and entrepreneur Tyrese Taylor. She is the founder of MillennialBae, where she helps women with being in style by showing how to dress and offer select styles so that they can feel confident and beautiful in their clothing. Everybody, please help me welcome Tyrese Taylor to Limitless.
Hello.
Hi, welcome.
Hi. It's good
So
to be
good.
here.
You as well. I know we've been trying to plan this out, so I'm so grateful for your time to just connect with you and just to hear your story.
Thank you.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's dive in. What inspired you to start your own business?
And so I wanted to actually go to a fashion design school close to home when I was finishing high school, but they didn't have any dorms or many scholarships. So I decided I'm going to go to Bethune-Cookman University and get my bachelor's in biology. And over the years, I still incorporated things that I loved, like science and sewing and also singing. When I was at the university, I would spend some of my free time looking at DIY projects for sewing and upcycling projects and also reducing fabric waste because that was a big thing to me. And as I learned and was inspired by other people sewing and their projects and what they created, I wanted to also do that. So one time when I went thrift shopping with my mom and my sister, we found a sewing machine. And from there, I was excited to actually begin creating some of the things that I've made. That I've watched and some of the projects that I was inspired to create. So it basically was being inspired as a kid and then getting a sewing machine, learning some of those techniques. And I also went to a seamstress. Her name's Anita, and she gave me some basic knowledge on how to use a sewing machine, how to thread it. And from there, I began my first project was a jersey knit pencil skirt. And I had extra fabric left over, so I made a crop top to go with it. And I wore it, I wore it to school. And a lot of my friends, they were like, oh, wow, where'd you get that outfit? And I would tell them like, I made some of the items and that was one of them. And from there on, I kept creating my own clothing. And people kept asking, like, where are you getting your clothes? So I decided to open up my own Etsy shop and start selling items that I've made.
That's amazing. And that's such an inspiring origin story, because I know for a lot of creatives, that's always like the process of like, oh, I just was kind of doing this and then ended up being something else. And also too, congratulations on getting your master's and everything. So you're just very skilled in so many different things. And so I wonder, and if you can elaborate more, what was like your creative process of when you developed your Etsy shop? Like, what was that that you allowed yourself to put out there to kind of like be able to start selling some of the things that you just created for fun, I guess?
Right. I basically started off with scrunchies. I wanted to do something that was pretty simple, but also helpful for others. A lot of my friends, they're natural. And my mom, she has locks, really long hair, and it's thick. And she was telling me she wished she had something that could help tie her hair back that was stretchy enough and big enough to cover, like secure all of her hair. And I also noticed that people would tell me about the need for larger scrunchies. So I decided to design one that was really stretchy. I actually have some with me. I have this color. It's in the dust rose and it has 13-inch stretch. Usually scrunchies have about 6 inches or so, but this one is a lot stretchier than the average. And I have some that are extra large, which have a 19-inch stretch. And I have them in other colors like this brown shade. I have dark brown, light brown, and black. And I also designed a satin headscarf. It goes for your edges and it also helps tie your hair up. It has 60 inches of fabric, so you can wrap your hair multiple times without dealing with any hair damage. I wanted to create something that was, soft on the hair, recycled fabric, and it's sustainable for the environment.
Wow, I love that. And that's definitely a niche market, especially specifically the larger ones, because
Right.
especially like you were describing, certain hair types needed that type of flexibility. So thank you for creating that. And, just understanding that the need for your clientele base based upon you, it just sounded like you did market research of like what they shared with you. So that's always a great way and a great nugget for anybody watching this is that you heard what the market or your clientele was looking for, especially when you said you were designing stuff and people were just wanting, like, where'd you get that outfit from? You heard the market and you responded accordingly. So that's such a great nugget that you just shared with that.
Thank you.
So what keeps you motivated day to day to keep working on your business?
I stay motivated by writing down my goals. That's one. And knowing like when I check it off, it's like, yes, I did it. I got some of the things that I needed done, accomplished. Staying organized is really important to me. I have a planner and seeing other entrepreneurs' success. I see them on TikTok, Instagram, just like online. And when I see them creating and having success in their business, it makes me excited to want to continue. Because when you're new, it takes a while for things to progress, but seeing other people and where they came from and how they're doing like 5-10 years out, I'm like, okay, that can be me 5 and 10 years out. This is my second year in business. So I'm still really new to this.
Wow, 2 years in business. Congratulations to that, because it's a process. Like, I get it, especially any new entrepreneur or those that have been in business for a long time. If what they say, I think if you can make it past, I joke, the terrible twos of business, like you can make it past anything.
It's slow, but I see growth, and that's what's important to me. One step at a time. That's what I think.
That's amazing. So I know you alluded to that a little bit, but how have mentors and other entrepreneurs played a role in moving your business forward?
With Sky's the Limit, I looked at the different milestones that are required to run a successful business, and seeing the PowerPoints and the Google Docs and the documents they have for you to fill out has really been helpful with my progress. There is this thing called, what is it called? It's basically a PowerPoint that tells you how you should write your mission statement, what you should be looking for when you first start your business, how you go about defining your branding and your mission, and all of that's really important for defining how you want your business to look and what you stand for. So those documents really help me with being grounded in what I need to work for and work towards to have a successful start.
That's awesome. And so with that, developing your business, you're 2 years in you're growing and you're learning and you're connecting. What would you say is one challenge you faced and how did you overcome it?
One of the challenges I faced was running my Instagram profile. I actually have 2 Instagrams. One is my influencer page where I talk about natural hair growth, and the other one is my business where I share like hair care products like this scrunchie and clothing. So I'm trying to consistently put out content every day is a challenge, but with platforms like Planoly, that has been helpful with posting every day. And because Sky's the Limit had given me a grant for $500, that helped me so much because I was able to use that for my Planoly platform. And with the Planoly plan, they have a year subscription. So I was able to use that to post my content, plan it out, and have it consistently on my page.
That's awesome. And you know, I think what's so amazing about your overcoming of that is, for one, you learned you were a smart entrepreneur, thinking first and foremost time management, prioritization, and then you got a system. I always talk about that because that was the hardest thing I had to learn, was like, you need systems to make sure that the business runs appropriately, because you may not be here forever. You need a system. So I'm glad you figured that out early on, because now that you can be able to do more things as you grow. So that's awesome. And so I know you just kind of expressed about it or shared about it, but how did you approach funding for your business?
I saw that Sky's the Limit has different opportunities to receive funding. I still want to explore more of the options that they have. One of the options I noticed is when you attend the live sessions, you watch the videos, you connect with different entrepreneurs. At the end of the Zoom call, there's a potential winner. And I happened to be one of those in the Zoom calls, which was exciting. At the end of it, they announced my name. I was like, really? I'm the winner? That's really awesome. So I appreciate this funding, and I hope to continuously receive other funding opportunities. This was my first funding. Besides that, I've really been funding it on my own. And I also used the funding to purchase fabric for one of my recent designs.
Now, I do have a question, just because you kind of talked about this, because a lot of entrepreneurs, we are all starting out with our own funding and coming from our savings or however we're funding it. What advice would you give to the new entrepreneurs coming out, of things that you learned, that you've overcome, that you wouldn't maybe so much recommend to do, that you kind of did, or anything that you would like to just kind of offer them when it comes to like funding out of your own pocket?
I think that it will be better to set a budget that you want to stick to. Mine was pretty low, and I had it kind of flexible, where I would just, okay, I want to get some fabric. I would set like $60 aside, and then, okay, let me get some fabric, and then start from there. But I think like starting off with receiving funding from different sources, so you don't feel as restricted in what you feel you can progress towards, would be ideal. And also reaching out with people and having a launch date, because I said, okay, one day I'm just going to open up an Etsy. I see people, they're excited about the things that I created. Let me just start somewhere. But I think launching my page would have been beneficial, and getting more buzz around what I've created, and so more people could know that my business exists. So I think those two things would be very important for new business owners and their success.
That's a wonderful advice that you just gave, because a lot of times we're just like, oh, we're just putting money towards stuff and not putting together a budget to let us know, okay, we need this amount for inventory, we need this amount for operations, we need this for working capital. So I think that advice is beautiful, because if you start off with a budget, or at least have something in place, that way you know how much funding you either need to come out of your pocket, or if you need to reach out to different sources for that. So thank you for sharing that nugget.
Oh, also,
Yes.
I think it's important to have your business registered with a bank, so you can also see where your finances are going, instead of like you're being your own personal account. Have your bank set up for a business specifically, so then you can later down the road, when it grows, you're going to have to do taxes once you reach that amount. So if you don't have that set up, then it could be a little complicated with going back and looking to see how to manage your funding, your sales, and all of that. So I think it's good to have a business account.
Thank you so much for sharing that, because where were you like 3 years ago? Because I did that. I literally was dibbling in my own funds and not realizing, oh, you need a bank account for your business, so that way the tax people can see that. That was like the hardest tax season ever for me.
Yeah.
So thank
Yeah,
you. I'm like, where was she 3 years ago? But no, that definitely, I think that is such a great nugget for new entrepreneurs starting out. Like, of course, try to get you a business bank account. At least, there's a lot of ones that support small businesses. Look up, search them, see which one's reputable, and definitely enroll in that. So that way all your funds coming in and out go in one place. And a lot of people have different views on how many bank accounts you need. But for right now, just start with one and then grow from there.
and also a business credit card so you can build your credit. I heard that building your credit is very powerful because when you receive loans for the future, you're able to, they can see that you can manage your money. So, I mean, you have your own credit, but then you have business credit, and that's important to show. That'll be for me later down the line, I think. I'm still new, so I don't think, not yet. I'll just wait for that part.
Well, that's still great information. Thank you for sharing that with our viewers. Okay, so you're pretty busy. You got a lot of things going on. You're creating, you're using different parts of your brain to do different things. How do you manage your time between working on your business and other aspects of your life?
I like to set alerts on my phone. So I have like, okay, at this time, I'm going to work for an hour on managing my marketing. That's the other part. With running your own business, you have to wear so many hats, like marketing, creating, designing, updating your website. So I see why it's important to have a team. A lot of people have teams. I would love to have one day. But starting off, being organized is really important. Writing down what you need to get done, checking those things off. And it's not always easy. Sometimes things take longer. Like one of my posts on Etsy, I basically designed the template for like the scrunchies I talked about before, how stretchy they are, the dimensions and everything. So having a graphic designer is even something that would be helpful with managing your time, because you could give off those tasks to other people that would help you progress. So that's one thing that would be helpful, but it's not necessary always. Like there's ways to make it work as long as you have your timer going, if you need, or something that will help you stay consistent with your posts, like the alerts, and using Planoly as well. Those are all great.
I love that. And what's so interesting too, when you were talking about putting all of these things together, I think what's inspiring for me is hearing how you're starting off and you're just taking your different skills and things and you're adding onto it. But I think even too with staying consistent, I think that is such a beautiful thing that you have done, is staying consistent in what you have, and then you're continuing to evolve as you go. So right. I think consistency is what's allowing you to continue to thrive and get more viewership and things like that. So, and then you're managing it all while, of course, staying time management. And then you said one key thing, and I've been really saying this to a lot of people: delegation. When you can, yes, delegate the task. Another entrepreneur shared about that, like delegate the task. If it's not the task that you have to handle, because you wear so many hats as an entrepreneur, but if it's a task that you can pass off to maybe, my little brother, if he ever sees this, I used to task a lot of stuff to him. He was an intern, right? Like,
I know that's right.
But he's an intern for the, he's in college and they need that LLC, right? He can put it on his resume, but yeah, he was in media and stuff, and he does like film and videography. So,
right? Perfect.
So if you can delegate a task, it's the best thing to do.
Yes, even like taking photos of your products or videos, trying to do all of that can be overwhelming. So that's why delegation is important.
I love that. Yes, totally. Task. So I know, okay, I have two more questions for you, and then I will let you, because you're a busy lady. So I have two more questions for you. Where do you see MillennialBae in the future? 5 years from now, 10 years from now, what do you see your business being?
I see it being, I want it to be a larger online platform and eventually brick and mortar. That's always been my dream. So it'd be super exciting to have my own shop where people could try the items on, take them with them, of course, take them home and share them with other people. Like, oh, I went to this store to get these clothing items. So I'd love to see the end goal being that.
I can see that. And tell me if I'm right, but I'm like, aren't you in Florida? Like, what is South
Yes,
Beach beautiful for? I can see it. I can see the MillennialBae store on South Beach or something.
that'd be awesome.
Okay. The last question, and I want to just, so first and foremost, just thank you so much for everything you shared so far. Any words of wisdom or inspiration you give someone just starting out?
I'd say don't think you have to do everything at once, because when I first started, I'm like, oh wow, I watch YouTube videos on how people they do all of these things, but they've been in business for years. So if you remember, you're starting off, you can't do everything. Just take one step at a time and pace yourself, because there are some days where I just spend hours trying to get everything done. So it's just like take your time. There's time to get everything you need done. As long as you like are completing those things that you need to do to make it run smoothly, then that's important.
Thank you so much. Everyone, please give a round of applause in the comments, in the chats, wherever you see this. Make sure you celebrate Tyrese Taylor for being on today's Limitless episode. We want to just say thank you so much for participating today. And I can't wait for people to hear your story.
Thank you. One thing I would like to add is one of the Sky's the Limit mentors, Lauren Bates, she's been really helpful with how to basically put my products out, how to design some of the things, because I had certain ideas and she would encourage me. And that encouragement really helped me feel more inspired to continue, because when you're new, it's like, well, will people like this item? Will they want this? And so having someone that's encouraging is really helpful. And one of the other people that was helpful is Eileen Kowalski. She gave me insight on how I should push some of my products out, how my website should look. We just talked through creative ideas on how I could implement how products should look. So she was helpful for me.
That's amazing. And thank you so much to all of our mentors and partners that help us to support the entrepreneurs. We are so grateful for everything you do to pour into each and every entrepreneur. And shout out to Lauren and Eileen for definitely helping Tyrese grow to where she is right now. So last thing, Tyrese, I would like everybody to figure out where they can find you. So where can they find you? What's your social media? What is your contact information? Please share with us.
Yes, my Instagram is millennial_bae_, and my personal Instagram is Tyrese_Lynn_, and you can also find me on Etsy at MillennialBae Studios. That's the full name. And from there, you can see all of the products I have available, and I hope that you find them helpful for you.
Amazing. Make sure you go to her page right now and click follow and definitely support her. Thank you so much, Tyrese. We can't wait to air this episode, and we are looking forward to everyone's feedback and response to this amazing entrepreneur, founder of MillennialBae, Tyrese Taylor. Thank you.
You so much. I was so happy to be a part of this. I appreciate it.
What just happened? Like, I have a notebook full of notes. Like, my head is about to explode. That conversation was amazing, and I'm excited for what it'll do in and through your business. Make sure you stay tapped into all that Sky's the Limit has to offer. Check out the funding tab at the top of your page for every month's family and friend grant. Meet new people, connect with new entrepreneurs, connect with new volunteer mentors, and we can't wait to see you for next month's Limitless Conversation. Deuces.